Investigators are getting a better indication of where the collapse likely started. They say it lines up with serious problems engineers found nearly 3 years ago. That's where Craig Patrick is coming in tonight with some insight from these engineers and that report going back to 2018. It sounds like we're getting some pretty good information here.
It's very good information. Where it will lead remains to be seen, because engineers stress they do have to complete the investigation to nail down with certainty the cause. But they do have some very striking evidence that is certainly coming to light that will play into the investigation, certainly. And with that, I want to start with perspective on how the building likely collapsed in general.
The soil conditions, foundation conditions might have been one of the reasons for such a failure.
When floors drop and pancake, as we saw in this disaster, civil engineers suspect trouble somewhere in the foundation.
The lower stories lose strength, let's say, and there's no enough capacity to withhold the structure. Then the upper stories, one by one, start pounding down.
And in reviewing all the video and pictures of the scene, experts say it looks as if the collapse started around the pool deck. That would line up with a call moments before the collapse in which a witness, now missing, said she saw a sinkhole where the pool used to be. Engineers say it all supports the theory that the concrete slab beneath the pool caved in first. That would have collapsed into the parking garage, which could have then caused the tower to buckle and crumble. While the investigation is a long way from finished, engineers say a failure around or beneath the pool deck does appear to have triggered the tragic chain of events. And that draws attention to this engineering report from October of 2018. It warned of a major error in the development of the original contract documents as it relates to the slab beneath the pool deck. The engineers said it was laid flat instead of sloped, which could not provide proper water drainage. And water that had piled up had been deteriorating the slab. The report specifically stated the failed waterproofing is causing major structural damage to the concrete structural slab below, and that failure to replace waterproofing in the near future will cause the extent of the concrete deterioration to expand exponentially. The report also found cracks in the parking garage columns, and that the previous garage concrete repairs were failing. In terms of what happens next, the scientists and the engineers who will collaborate on the investigation, among other things, will collect all the data. Certainly those reports from 2018 will be important information. They will then enter that data into computers. The computers will then generate models or simulations showing the range of possibilities and the most likely possibility based on all the information entered in terms of what actually caused the collapse, where it started, and with that, that's going to take officially a few weeks, though certainly some interesting evidence is coming to light already.
And Craig, you know, so many condos, not just in South Florida, but here in Tampa Bay. So you've got, usually it's an HOA, homeowners association, and then there's a property manager. Do we know how any of those people reacted when that report came out in 2018 with all those problems?
Yes, there's an email trail. There was awareness of it from building management, from the condo association. In fact, they were mailed to the chief building official in Surfside, but ultimately there was a follow-up meeting in which it was determined for whatever reason the building was in good condition. And with that, the repairs were not promptly engaged. And those were very, very expensive repairs, by the way. We'll show you the cost. They add up into millions of dollars coming up in the next hour. But nevertheless, there were concerns, but in the end, for whatever reason, there was not the follow-up in engaging repairs.
So much more to follow there before we get the answer for sure. Thank you so much, Craig Patrick.